My love, today is another big freaking deal. I'm here today with the Sanctuary podcast. I have this brand new project once again that I'm about to introduce you. You see me launch so many things at the same time, serve so many people at the same time, and it's like that's the vibe. I'm a manifestor generator. I'm not taking slow momentum here. We're going with success after success and creating so many fun things, and the Sanctuary is one of them. So I'll explain you today what's happening. I have an incredible special guest with me today, and everything will make sense in just a second here. So bear with me as I'm inviting this incredible woman that I love so.
Hello!
Come on, baby, I miss you.
Me
How are
too. Me too. I'm so excited to be here celebrating the sanctuary. Wow, thank you for inviting me. What a pleasure. And to reconnect with you. I think like since last year we haven't like fully like connected again, so it just feels so refreshing.
I know, right at the same time of the fire horse here. By the way, you look amazing on this chair. I feel this is it's exactly the vibe of what the Sanctuary is about. And you're the initial one. You're the OG. Today's technically the first episode of the Sanctuary. So as so many people are joining, I want to take a minute to introduce both of us for sure. But before we get there, I just want to introduce briefly what the Sanctuary is all about,
Yes.
why we're here today, and why this is not just going to be a today event. It's going to be literally like a spiral that keeps going up and up and up and extending all over the earth, all over the world to ultimately, create the world of more safety, of more love, of more success for every single living being on earth with so much love, so much abundance, so much peace and all of the things. So I'm just so glad we're uniting power today. Welcome to the Sanctuary. Welcome to the Sanctuary, Anna, Luisa. Welcome to the Sanctuary, everyone watching, listening to that. What is the Sanctuary? So ultimately, the Sanctuary is my initiative podcast, the podcast of Explore Imagine. The Sanctuary was actually a podcast I used to run about I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, and I put it down, and the word sanctuary always kept in my heart, because what is a sanctuary? It's a safe place. It's a safe heaven where we can get together just casually, no filter, no trying to do this or this, just being raw with the heart, with authenticity, and ultimately serving through powerful conversation that can lift your heart, your mind, your spirit, your emotion in such spectacular way that ultimately the goal, if there was ever a goal to the Sanctuary, is supercharge you with so much power, authentic momentum that you go out there with your biggest gift and you go serve the world and you go change the world. So that is a bit what the Sanctuary is about, in few words, and I'm really excited to bring it back officially today. This is the first episode. Having you as a guest, I'm like, this just feels so perfectly juicy. Look at you on the chair, just the woman that you are, that, I know you're such a, powerful woman, but you're such a woman of heart, and when I think of you, one of the reasons that I love you so much and, I appreciate you so much, it's because when I think of you, I'm like, you're just so much full of love, talking with you, it's always easy. I'm like, last time I saw you, we were in Canada on the lake paddle boarding together, and ultimately, when I think of you, you're that safe woman, that I know that powerful leader can go through and so not go through, but go to, and be served through your compassion, through your love, through your sensitive advice, but also a way of looking at life. And sometimes, the best way we can serve the world is exactly to be that sanctuary of, reminding people it is safe now, it is safe here, let's rise from the deep anchorment of safety. So yes, it's incredible to have you as a guest. Badass entrepreneurs, you had the business for 9 years. I know there's a lot of moving part right now in your life right now, and I'm here with you supporting it all. because I know that, there's only exponential growth for both
Mhm.
of us, and not just both of us, for like you're listening to that today, you're in exponential growth right now. This is happening, period. So yeah, welcome.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, if you want to take even a second to introduce yourself here a little bit, to my community, but also part of your community listening and
Yes,
watching
thank
that
you.
today.
So I'm an alchemist and an intuitive channel. And I mean, I have been a hairdresser and I have been in the hair industry for like over 20 years. And, I have had like that navigation of deep self exploration like all of my lifetime since I had imaginary friends and all of these things. And then later on in my hairdressing industry, connecting with people, my intuition kept expanding, right? And so from there I intertwined hair and magic and intuition and allowing to give advice, because as you were saying, you're a manager and I'm a projector. And sometimes people are like, are you a manager? And I'm like, no, because I do a lot of things, but I am actually a projector. But it is that part of like the advice that you were saying, like that I can see and give you that more specific thing that I can see for yourself. Right. So anyway, going
Mm-hmm.
back to my introduction, I do a little bit of everything, but I do this beautiful offerings into how to empower your inner witch, of how to empower your inner voice, your inner truest being through magic, through alchemy. And so that's what I do. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And
Yeah.
talking of the energetic of success today, the
Yes.
alchemization of when for me, when I think of the energetic of success, it looks a bit like this is the current situation now. I want to go to Z, right? I'm at A, I want to go to Z. In the between process, sometimes we have challenge, certain threshold, things that are blocking the way. How can I alchemize that through the energetic of success to get that goal? And go ahead, yeah.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I do want to say some things, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
letting
go
you.
ahead, please. That's why I felt something was wanted to be burned. I'm like, go for it. Oh, did you have something you wanted to voice?
Okay, so yeah, no, I love what you're talking about when we go through the process of the energetics of success. Success, it can be in many ways. And yesterday, even in my life, I was talking about godzillionaire. I feel godzillionaire because yes, we can be millionaires, but sometimes we can be millionaires and not have that faith within ourselves, that embodiment of oneself and the connection to divine. And then, things happen in life and you feel completely out of what, like you feel like you're not having your floor, you're feeling like completely reacting for every single thing that comes externally, versus when we are in that divine and like really attuned within ourselves, and that success will definitely shine through and break through when you have like your discipline, your faith, your commitment, when you like fully let go of like certain things of control that are like life is giving you.
Mm-hmm.
And when we open up into all of these possibilities and letting go of an all identity, as you were saying, like, yes, I have a 9 year, I had a 9 year business that I just like, I'm in that transition. However, I do feel that there is so much success rising within all of this and excitement because it's opening to all of these opportunities that life is giving. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know this year for you, Year of the Snake, was incredible. Like you sold out on your retreat, and then right away you went into another one, and you have been like growing exponentially. And one thing I see a lot in you, it's that discipline, is that showing up, that and although sometimes life can, I mean, life, we're human, it happens, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're still like continuously showing up and like not saying like, oh well, I want to be fit, but then you just go to the gym one day and then you just didn't continue, like
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, that embodiment that you do, I really respect that of you, and I really love that about you, like that you really are continuously showing up, like continuously in alignment, continuously like preaching and growing, and I love it. And because I also see how the faith that you have in your vision, because every time you're like, oh my god, well, I'm the youngest one in this group, or but at the same time, I have this vision and I feel it, and you just embody it and you project it and you make it happen. And I think that is like,
Oh my
key.
God, I love you
Yeah.
so much. Just exercising your projector gift here. But thank you for saying that. And you know what? To me, when I think of the energetic of success, it's actually exactly that.
Mhm.
And we can think of the energetic of success of like, oh, put yourself in that energy and super woo of I don't even know what, but like the energetic of success compounds in a way many factor. But when you say you have your vision and you just go with it and you have determination and thanks for reflecting the incredible success I had this year, even though I'm like, woman, the snake year was freaking hard for me too, and I'm so ready for the fire horse year that is starting, that we're starting here today together with the sanctuary. And, you know, and, but with the energetic of success, what I came to realize, is that if you know your vision, and to me, I mean, I have the great capacity, and I'm sure you have it too, to tap in what I call the vision beyond the vision beyond the vision. In the
Mhm.
vision beyond the vision beyond the vision, it's like literally you're entering a reality that is just beyond any construct of your mind, any limitation. Like, I love to describe this vision ultimately as the vision of heaven on earth. What the spiritual new age people are talking about, the new earth, like literally this incredible earth where we're literally living in the frequency of peace, love, or like abundance, harmony, vibrating to the next level. And ultimately this earth looks like, I always see overflowing and waterfalls every single place. Like, I just see it's almost like, the Lion King when he goes the baby lion and there's all the animal like in peace. It kind of is like that. And we just live in this beautiful world that is just the best ever. And it's like, don't we all want that, right? To get to that vision where maybe we live in a world where there's no more war, there's no more of all of the disgusting, ugly things that we see right now happening in politics in certain country, like Iran, the Epstein fraud that have been all over the place, and God knows, like, what's the other dark energy behind that. But then ultimately, right, in our gift to the heart, it's like, don't we want to be the leaders of earth that truly devote to creating this earth the most beautiful place for the legacy of the children of the children of the children? And it's like, I know we're in it together. I know we're in it together, and doesn't mean that we have super easy life and that we don't fight and argue sometimes with our loved one and we don't have threshold of our success. No, it doesn't mean that. But ultimately, it means that no matter what happened, we're able to reconnect to that highest vision no matter what. And from there, that is the energetic of success. Because if I have that, and no matter what I go through in life, I'm able to bring myself back in my channel, in my like Kundalini energy, having my spine straight of like, I'm leaning towards that, and just humbly but also passionately be like, I'm gonna lead myself there. And as I lead myself there, I know I'm bringing with me like 10,000 millions people. And ultimately from there, that determination you were talking about, it's like, how do we show up in the energetic of success and keep moving forward with determination, with accountability, with faith, all of these peace elements that are part of the energetic of success? To me, it's how connected we are to our highest vision,
Yes.
right? And go ahead, yeah.
And I think also, I mean, sometimes, like, for example, one thing I encountered myself right now, like during this like threshold, right? Like, oh my God, keep going, keep going, keep going. But I knew that there was a point in that I could keep going, but not to the point that I am burning out, that where I need to stay honest with myself, that my nervous system is regulated, that I am not going to be just operating on an automatic base, but that it just feels authentic to like, okay, I am responsible for this, but maybe right now it's feeling like it's a little bit out of my reach. So I'm just gonna like really sustain myself, like to bring down myself into this state of calmness so I can continue having this clarity to where I am heading. Because sometimes when we
Mhm.
keep going, keep going, keep going, and keep adding, then it's kind of like doing a salad and you're like, oh, and I have beans and I have strawberries and I have, and then next thing you know, it's not anymore like even a salad. It's just like something that is just, I don't know what, because
Mhm.
that's like sometimes we get too much into a noise see in a noisy state. So it's
Mhm.
definitely really important to like continue having that check in with oneself to make
Mhm.
sure that we are staying authentic with that.
Mhm.
And another thing I also feel is also the people around you, like
Mhm.
the people that you connect with who are your friends, who do you hang out, what do they talk about, what are they really sharing, do they read books, like what is it that you are really expanding yourself into continuing to grow. Because sometimes some people can be more like, oh, let's just sit down and smoke weed all day or like something like this, and it's like, well, that's taking me out of my purpose and distracting me. So although I do have a good time, but how do does oh, but maybe if I hang out with Elizabeth, oh my gosh, she's reading this book, she's taking this course, she's like really learning about herself, she's really showing off for herself, so I do want to hang out with her because um in Spanish, we have con quién te juntas y te diré quién eres. With who do you hang
Mhm.
out, and I will tell you who you are. And it's
Mhm.
so true. And that's who we become also. So, if you're in a group of friends that you're kind of wanting to expand and they limit you, your companies limit you, they put you limiting beliefs, or they don't take action for things. Let's just be congruent and like, you were talking about the
Mhm.
alignment of like, let's bring ourselves into alignment. And that is a, a true way of being into success, because together in community, as you were saying, like the sanctuary, right? Like the sanctuary is about like gathering, about coming all together, feeling a safe space. And yes, because we are a community, we want to be accepted, we want to feel welcome, we want to be accepted, loved, and like seen, and and cherished, and also sustained in those
Mhm.
difficult moments. So I think the sanctuary is beautiful, that you're bringing it back, because from you sharing the voice, your voice, and other
Mhm.
woman's voice, it's really important for people to come and be feeling that sustainment. And that's, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I
Mhm.
went on a tantrum. Not sorry.
No,
I
I
went
love
on just
it.
on a tantrum of like a lot of things that I feel that. And one more thing, I think it's
Yeah.
also really important within success too, is kind of like being patient and like activate your inner patience. Because again, I'll go use as an example like the gym, right? Like, okay, I want to be able to build my muscle. But it's like, well, if you show up to the gym just 1 week, you're not going to be like super fit. It is just matter of like every day. And sometimes you will fight yourself of like, oh, I don't want to do this. Well, maybe you're looking that the mountain is really high. But what if instead of like knowing that you want to be Miss Olympia, why don't you just like better like really think about, I today, just today, I am gonna go to the gym, even if
Mhm.
it's 5 minutes. Or maybe I feel like extremely tired, okay, maybe I'm just gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna have an active like walk, and just kind of like showing up. And that's kind of being patient into achieving, like, oh, I want to sell, or I want to create this business and this business. And you're not, oh, it's not happening, oh my god, like, and you just go and drop yourself. It's no, like, let's come back into that patience of like, I know what I'm building, it takes time, but I'm moving within that momentum of continuing to expand and
Mhm.
to connect with the right people, to know that I am moving, that I am going to get invited into this space. Like today in the sanctuary, like, that you invited me. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Yes, let's do it. So
Mhm.
I think that's also
Mhm. Mhm.
another key to.
I I love how we're like, it's almost like, you know, this conversation I was having about the highest vision, the vision beyond the vision, it's like so up here. And then the way you explain some of the piece of the energetic, I feel it's so grounded. It's almost like everything you said was representing like the root chakra and like back to safety and doing just a very grounded action that are necessary in order to create success. And then here am I talking about like the vision of heaven on earth, and you guys infuse all of your action with what's like is above you. But when we love these two pieces, they need to go together. The highest vision wants to come down. As you said, you want to have abs. Do you think it's going to happen in one day? No, you're going to have to go to the gym many freaking times. Everything about what you do is going to have to become a sanctuary, a temple, which you put in your body. When we connect to our highest vision, that to me it's like, you know, it's in a way what guides the energetic success, because it's that faith that we get to infuse, you know, in the darkest time. But when we infuse all of our action with that, it becomes so effortless to show up. Like, honestly. And today, right now, it's like, to me, it's the perfect example of that. Like, literally, I'm like, I'm bringing back the Sanctuary podcast. And obviously, it's like something I thought about for, you know, a few weeks or months or whatever. At some point, I was like, why am I not taking action on that? You know, and I was like, what am I waiting for? And then what I did, I invited you. I have other guest speaker already lined up for the next few months. Today, before this whole podcast is like, okay, let me create a beautiful cover. I have new photography of like, you know, this amazing photographer. And I'm like, let's put it together. And that's it. And it was just the most effortless thing because I'm locked in with my highest vision. I know my biggest why, you know? I know the biggest why, which on top of that is like, let's also be very human. We also love to have beautiful houses, like make shit ton of money and all of these kind of things, sure. But that's a result of our true purpose, if that makes sense. And yes. I love that when we love that like energetic of success, the biggest why, and then we're also very honest with ourselves of saying like, I'm gonna have to make many action, I'm gonna have to go to the gym many times, and that's okay. Then it becomes more and more effortless to show up. Sure, there will be a day, like I'm not gonna lie, you know, talking about authenticity and rawness, there's day I'm like, yo, like, I don't really feel like showing up today, but then I do the practice. I go to the gym and I do the loving, powerful practice, which obviously it's all the practice that I teach in my work. And I know in a way you have similar practice that you teach in your own way, you know, and then we do the practice to reconnect us to the highest vision, to the highest faith, to keep showing up. And it's like, to me, from, you know, any path I've created around success, and I'm even curious if you have like maybe an experience that happened in your life where, you know, you were on the pathway of success and big challenge happened and then it was like, no, you brought yourself back, you know. And to me, it like doesn't matter what I've created. You know, you talk about, oh, you sold out my, you know, my retreat last year, and actually it was almost sold out. I needed one more person to sell it out. And you know what happened when I arrived in Greece, because the retreat was in Greece, if you didn't know that, and I saw the villa and Real that I had booked, I was like, thanks God that final person didn't book, because like one of the room was, it was amazing, don't get me wrong, it was still been freaking amazing, but I was like, the way it was laid out, it was so perfect that this room wasn't filled. But anyway, all to say
and
that
it was like 13 people, wasn't it? Like it was
I don't do 13 people. No, it was, we were like
9?
7 total. Yeah,
7. Okay,
it's more casual, cozy retreat, but to me it was perfect. Like it was what I wanted. But, you know, all to say that it's like, how did I sold it out, or almost, but really it was sold out in the perfect way that I think it was intended. It's because of what you said, both the very grounded, consistent action, but my capacity to bring myself back of the true why of I do the thing that I do. Because guess what? I think right now in the world we're leading, like if we're creating success in business just for the sake of making money, it's like we're so far from the goal. You know, like right now, the world is asking for us visionary leader to step up for the biggest why. and I know you're in this business because of that. And then to understand that that's the energy of success, when you understand your deepest why, the one that you feel at the core of your essence, and you move yourself with it, that's always how we end up having sold out experience, sold out offer. And like, to me, that is the one of the most important piece. But I'm curious if you have any like experience that happened in your life where you were like, you know what, like it was freaking challenging, but I brought myself back because of that piece of energetic success. I would love to hear you on that.
Well, I feel like right now, I would say I won't go too far back. Like literally right now, I feel like from October to today, it was like all of a sudden, it was like a huge, massive challenge that I was like, okay, hold on to this. And I continued to move through it. But next thing you know, by January, it was like, boom, things are like just completely like one day to the other. I woke up in like a different, like a massive quantum jump. And like next thing you know is like, okay, this is no longer in my reality. This is no longer in my reality. And grieving that part of me, of letting go that old identity of myself, of like, well, I am this, I am that. I'm like, oh my God, hold on. And literally I was like, okay, once I'm fully landed, once I'm fully like embodied again into feeling that sustainment, now I am ready to continue moving forward. Because you know i I have this program that I went to Peru to channel it,
Yeah.
and it's on Tame Your Bruja. And
Mhm.
I had written it, I had put it all together, it was like ready. And next thing you know, I got bronchitis. And then next thing you know, like it was just one thing after the other that it kept stopping me. So I was like, okay, I am gonna postpone right now. And next thing you know, right now in January, all of a sudden it was like, okay, I finished my 3-year relationship, and then next thing you know is like, oh my God, I need to move out. And I closed down my hair salon where 9 years. And now that I'm landing, I'm like, it is time. It is time now that things are feeling really good with me. I feel like embodied. Obviously, there's two things. There's like the part of me that could be grieving, but is not anymore in the fight or flight nervous system that's still like, going. Is my emotions are still navigating through, but I'm more in tune because now life is not moving. Like the waves are not crashing into the sand, and the sand is just like moving all the time, like the wave crashes. But now I am just in that steadiness of like observing, but I am ready now to be serving. And I think that's the beauty of it, of like, okay, now I am open. Now I am open to continue growing, to continue serving, to continue giving. Because and that is also truly a part of success, because I feel through all of this time my success has been into showing up for me, for like speaking my truth, my authentic self, my truth in the ways that of who I truly am. And what, like, I've been walking my talk. um and for my business too. And I feel like that is really beautiful within all of this, that it's bringing more things alive within inside. Because sometimes we do, when we're operating from this um not programming, but like, this is what I do, so this is who I am, and it just happens, right? But all of a sudden when life redirects you, it's like, oh, how does this feel? And from here, from all of these lemons that you do have, now you don't have the lemons you used to have your lemonade ready in the fridge to pick up from the fridge and ready to pour. You have a new tree. You have new lemons. Maybe you might even have new fruits. What are they? And just explore from that. And there's so much juiciness, and so many blessings from all of this, into adapting, and to then seeing things with grace, and getting excited for that new thing. And sometimes we go in life of like, God, give me a sign, give me a sign. It's like, your sign is right there. Like, why don't you're not getting it? And you're like, oh my God, okay, this is a difficult one, but okay, fine, I get it. And having that faith again, and bringing yourself back into that faith, and showing up from that. I think, like, you know that's where it is. You know, and some of my clients is like, when are you starting on Tame Your Bruja? I'm like, very soon. I just need
Like
to make
today.
sure. Like today, yes. I was like yesterday in the live and I was like, guys, okay, I'll be releasing very soon, like on Tame Your Bruja again. And so we're starting in March 17. So
For
decided
the
it's a month
springtime,
after
you
the
do that.
eclipse. Mhm. I want
Mm-hmm.
the eclipse season to be done and we're gonna be like ready to go. So I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited. Yeah. And I know you
Love
have an
it.
offering coming too.
Yeah, and before we get there, like I obviously want to create a bit of space here, and for you to talk more about this incredible experience, and I'll obviously talk about the vision and what's coming to with Explore Imagine. But I want to reflect back a bit of what I was hearing as you're speaking. There's two key elements that I think are really important. If anyone you're listening to that, you're like your experience that you're going through right now, I feel two of the main keys are the surrender and the adaptability where and I feel with the experience you're moving through, it's such like Uranus energy. And I'm gonna explain all of that because I know you understand what I mean, but I'm just gonna assume that some people are like, what are you talking about? Uranus energy. So hold on here. But and as a friend, and someone who loves you so dearly, and also just a supporter of like the greatest orchestra of life, because as I said, I truly believe in higher faith, in like a vision that is higher than us. And sometimes we're so in our mind where we think like it's going to have to be that way, but if we surrender and through the surrender process we adapt, maybe there's a way better vision. And right now I know for you it's like, well, thank you so much for expressing that with raw and vulnerability, and like inside of the sanctuary and the safe place of like, you know what? Right now I'm shifting everything. This business that I created success for 9 years is totally shifting, right? This big revolution, and that's Uranus energy, right? Uranus power sometimes it's gonna literally destroy thing like the tower in the tower that gets destroyed to be rebuilt in the new iteration of what is the new highest destiny timeline for yourself, right? And it's like this is happening, and on top of that there was a letting go of a relationship that I know meant so much for you, but at the same time sometimes we're letting go of things because something better is coming on the other side, right? And I love how through your process I'm hearing there was a lot of space to be with your body, to attune to your nervous system, right? To come back to center, come back to safety, which is like, I don't know for you, but I know for me that, through building a relation with my nervous system and with my body, like with my body. It's crazy how, and I'm not gonna touch wood, okay, because we never know what kind of challenge can come our way, but like when we're so connected to ourself and our body, honestly, it's almost that invincible energy that we're able to shift timeline so rapidly. How like the last few months there's been so much change in your life, and you're like, but now this new experience is happening. And knowing you, I feel like this is going to be the pinnacle of even more of your offering and experience online, and even more of like you serving as a mentor and as a supporter. And I really see this new iteration of like you've done hair for so long, and I know your hair is a ritual, and it's really helping the woman not just have like beautiful hair but feel so good and so incredible in their body and so confident. But it's like now you're going to bring your level of work to tapping into creating even more experience for these women, let's say, to feel so incredibly confident. And it's like, imagine if we live in a world that all of the women out there have their confidence and their power back, and how incredible that is. But all to say that like I feel that through the challenge you've been going through, you're so connected to the surrendering aspect of like, I know right now maybe it's not easy, and like, it happens to all of us. Challenge for everyone are not easy, and sometimes it's like, to me, what you've been through, they're big freaking challenge. It's not like, oh, I lost $100 yesterday. It's like, no, they're big moment where there's grief, grief that wants to open our heart deeper, and why not? But I feel that deep in you, there's that locking in that deep down that it's always for better, and then that capacity to adapt. So I want to reflect back that to you, and like for anyone hearing how, in life, it doesn't matter what happened, if we can connect to that biggest faith, connect to the like, yes, it's challenging right now, but how is this happening for me? And we can trust that, and ultimately what's going to happen is that you know, as you said, you channeled this offer when you were in Peru, and it's like, oh my God, Peru is like one of the most sacred places on earth. I mean, every place on earth is so sacred. I've never been there. I was watching a documentary, by the way, last night about some of the
Mm.
sacred site in Peru, so I'm like feeling lit by that. But all to say that it's like this experience, this offer that you channeled in Peru, like to me, I'm like, yo, everyone, go work with Anna. Like that is for sure the best everything for the ones that are meant to benefit from that offer, right? But it's like, what if that offer is so powerful that if there's something as God needed to clear things that were interfering for maybe that offer to go to millions, because that offer comes from Peru and is about to reawake the whole world to their more sacred frequency. You know what I mean?
No, you know what? I do have to say, I after that, there were a lot of demonic entities coming right after
Mm.
me that I
Oh,
have never
wow.
experienced it into this level. Like I
Some
had,
chills.
yeah, no. It was like for real, like a full
Mm.
spiritual warfare. And oof, and I'm getting the goosebumps again of
Yeah, me
like
too.
how deep this was. It was like very ancestral bloodline curses, but at the same time, a lot of demonic. I disturbed the shit out of the demons that they were like boom, and I was like, ha, you know, I was like, okay, you know, it was a full warfare. So definitely of what you're saying, that was like huge initiation because and you know, I feel because I'm a witch of light, and you know, a lot of witchcraft can be like identified within more darker forces. And when
Mm-hmm.
I am bringing more um, the lightness of our connection with divine through Christ's embodiment, but at the same time into really connecting with the elements of the earth and Mother Earth, and you know, I feel that definitely there was definitely something in there that I was like, whoa, I had not experienced that. So that was tremendous, like tremendous. Like I actually
Mm-hmm.
I had been going like a lot into deep states of prayer for like defending everything that has been through. And talking back about Peru, oh, what a land. It was like incredible. And bringing that channel for Antemi Ruja, that was extremely powerful. And now that finally it's like that is gone fully, or at least like, you know, I identified it. I put my boundaries around it, and then there would be like little things of like throwing me a hook, you know, of wanting to come into my field again, and I'm like, nope. And
Mm-hmm.
again, that maybe through here, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I consistently had to be putting boundaries around. And somebody was like, I'm listening that you're, you know, doing too many things of like protection and all of this. No. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
I'm in fear. It's that I
I
am
see it. Yeah.
recognizing I see it,
Yeah.
and it needs to be put a stop around all of
Mm-hmm.
that so I can continue. And you know, it wasn't based out of fear. Yes, I could feel fear for the changes that were happening, but it wasn't the fear of giving my fear away to the
Mm-hmm.
other externally. You
It's
know,
a
so
recognition, you
yeah.
know? And thank you for saying that out loud too, because it's so important. And talking about the energetic of success, truly, when we do big thing to change the world and bring like, you know, light codes to this world, there is truly an interference at play. And not only that, the best way I could describe trauma, okay, not to get too much into the lens, it's the
Hmm.
same. You know, there is a shadow right now at play. There's certain human being that, you know, they do very dark shit. Like, excuse me my language. Look at the Epstein file. What is this? It's dark, fucking disgusting, excuse me my language stuff. The thing
Hmm.
is real. The shadow is real. We don't protect our energy, as you said, because it's like we're so in fear. No, it's because we're real. If I see someone do something not okay, I gotta say it. And that happens through in the energetic. And I feel that you know, we don't have enough of that conversation because it's a very woo conversation, but it's so real. And to me, you know, and maybe we'll wrap it up to that because I'm like, yo, if we start
Because
going
we
there,
can
we're
go
gonna
for
have
a
a whole other hour. Maybe we're gonna need the part two for that.
part
Part
two
two
for
for your
sure.
journey to
Yeah.
Peru. Like, can we do that? Part
Yeah.
two for your journey to Peru. I want to
Yeah.
hear about some of the experience there and, you know, deeper stuff. But to wrap it up there, it's with the energetic of success, you guys, your body, your mind, your emotion, your spirit, your physical body, protect it. You have a sacred gem. Like, think of your body as a pyramid that is shining bright, 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 bright light. There's other energy that can come in and it's going to try to stop you to do the thing that you're meant to do. Yeah, sometimes there are challenges too that are part of sharpening you better as like a sacred warrior, if we can call it this way. But ultimately, remember, you must protect your energy. And protection, you know, to me, it's like protection is one of the most important thing if we're gonna start tapping into spiritual world, but not just spiritual, like physical too.
Hmm.
And not protection out of fear, but it's literally like sacred protected energy that ultimately it's safety. And the more we can tap into that deep safety that is protection within ourselves, the sanctuary is ultimately that frequency will extend in
Yes.
deeper place of the world. So anywho, thank you
You
for
know,
saying that.
there's something that you're talking about, like our body, and somebody that I follow and I listen to, she always says your body is your Bible, and it's so true. When you tune in so much into your body of like, oh, I was just talking about this and my stomach started hurting. Oh, I just started like, really tuning in, or I just stepped into this place and I started getting anxiety, or just like really understanding what your body is telling you consistently. It's so crazy because all of this time, like, started things happening and I got bronchitis. And I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. Next thing you know, I got pink eye. Next thing you know, my asthma is back. Like there were so many things that my body was already like telling me, and I could
Mm-hmm.
see that how my body was even helping me fight off all of those entities too. So anyway, yeah, we can just continue going off, but also I want my channel also to hear about your offerings, because I know
Yeah.
you have, is it the vision that you just
Yeah.
launched?
Well, maybe let's wrap it up to that for both of us because I know you have things going. I have things going too, and as I said, we'll need the part two. And you know, I think every single aspect of this conversation was gold. And yeah, your
Mhm.
body is your
Thank you.
temple, your body is your Bible, and
Mhm.
pay attention inwardly now. Pay attention inwardly now, always. And yeah, I mean, talking about the energetic of success and to me it goes way beyond that, you know, like if you're listening to that message and you're like, hey, moving forward my biggest purpose, moving forward my biggest vision, moving forward my biggest mission for the
Mhm.
sake of creating a better world matters so freaking much to me.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to take care of myself so deeply that not only I learn to take care of myself so deeply, but on top of that, I become a pillar of light for other people to take care of themselves so deeply so that these people can also take care of other people so deeply. And that together we can, it's almost like I'm getting this vision of millions of people on earth right now waking the fuck up to the fact that they're like pillar, they're sanctuary, we're taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our sacred vision, we're claiming back the sacred vision of our heart, the sacred vision of our spirit. Like, you know, if that speaks to you, well, I have the vision for you ultimately, you know, and I could be like, come here, you're gonna have the most prosperity ever and the most health and happiness and like, you know, reach new milestone of success in your business and make cash, and that's all true. But ultimately to me it's like, you have to understand that my work is so deeply profound because it's going to shake you at the core of who you are to ultimately realize deep inside of you that there's a whole other reality that we get to co-create together. And it's happening now, and it's happening for ourselves, for you and I, for all of us, but it's also happening for the legacy we leave behind, for the
Mhm.
children of the children of the children of the children. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. yesterday we barely even talk about the fire horse here, the eclipse, the new moon in Aquarius. Like, we're going through a big revolution threshold right now. It's huge. I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's Saturn and Neptune right now at 0 degree of Aries. This specific conjunction hasn't happened since about 6,000 years. So there's just a lot of like um ancient time, I want to say, coming back up to surface, coming back up in our consciousness. And to me, ultimately, when I think of ancient times, I always have this vision that it's like the past is the future. This vision of like, whoa, what if we were really on earth to make this earth a better place, to create safe haven, peace all around the globe? And what if we just devote our life to this vision? What would happen then? Because we can devote a life of distraction, you know, which is like the bare minimum of how do I scrape by, or we can enter this new reality that we choose to enter now, to fully devote to this highest vision of literally heaven on earth. So that's why I created the vision. The vision is higher than me. It's just called wisdom, ancient knowledge, practice, simple practice too, embodied practice. You know, inside of the vision, I teach 7 modalities, 7 sacred modality: breathwork, Reiki, meditation, Nidra. What else? I like so many things. Somatic, embodiment, all for you to regulate, to be so sharp in your sacred temple that you're like, yo, I'm feeling lit and I'm ready to create the most incredible infinite creation in my lifetime, benefit from the most health and happiness there is, but at the same time make a difference on earth. So that's a bit what it's about. We start April 9, right after the springtime equinox. So yeah, that's it. You tell me too, because we're both starting thing around the springtime equinox. So I'm like, this is alignment here. I want to hear more about your experience. And yeah, tell me.
I love it. I love it. About like Untamed Your Bruja or yes. So Untamed Your Bruja, it is to empower your inner witch, because we all have a witch inside of us. And it's that woman that speaks her truth, that is connected to the elements, that it's connected. And you know, when we really empower ourselves, we are actually empowering our businesses, we're empowering our lives, we're empowering our relationships, because we're going to be able to distinguish, one, to see ourselves better, like with a better filter. Sometimes we are operating because of a programming and whatever it is happening externally. So in Untamed Your Bruja, we are really calling in our power, our things that belong, our energetics that belong to us, and whatever belongs to others goes to others. We go through the moon cycles into how we navigate into the how we navigate in the world with our own moon cycles, right? We go into also learning about our bodies, how we were talking about how our body is our channel, our Bible. So we go into, it's a 8-week program.
Good. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How long is it?
Yeah, it's an 8-week program, and once a week we connect and we go through all of this. And then there's a Telegram channel, like, you know, if you missed it, don't worry, you can go in, log in, and like ask your questions and in community, because I want the coven for us witches, right? You don't have to be a woman, you can be a man and be empowering yourself too, right? But you know, in the coven, I want to create that community that is not me like always sustaining, is also what others are learning and understanding what others, because through the perspective of others we can also see ourselves even better. So we work with the mirror, which is really, really cool work that happens with the mirror. Of course, there's always a section for spells and herbs and candles and all of this magic that the elements speak to us. So we go through a little chapter of that. And it is a very magical moment into where you really empower yourself, and all of these things you can apply really in your life, and not doing spells because, oh my God, I think if I do this spell, this is going to work. No, no, no. It's more about like really embodying it, of believing and connecting with yourself, of like, okay, this is what feels really true. And this amplifies your own inner channel, really, like to expand yourself then, so you can really navigate through that. So Untamed Your Bruja is going to begin March 17. And here we
Mm-hmm.
go. And I'm so excited. So, yeah. And I love the vision too. I think this is going to be so good for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say the imagery of your branding is so beautiful. I love it. I love, love, love your imagery.
Yeah, I'm excited for your people and on Tim the Witch too because when you think about it, I just see it as this beautiful portal that people go through and they literally come a person and they leave another one and they feel more amplified than ever in their gift, their dreams, their vision, as you said, their empowerment, confidence. And it's important to, right now, I think it's really important to gather leaders of all walks of life together right now where we can do the work because it's one thing to do the work alone, but it's another thing to do the work in collective, right? And it's like just this conversation, we're just the two of us today, but this is lighting me up. And I know it's lighting you up too. And it's because of that synergy, right? So yeah, I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of us because we're doing the big freaking thing, and we're stepping up as leaders for more leaders to step up and see what happens on the other side, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Another thing I did wanted to share, like, if you're watching and you want to join Untame Your Bruja, just DM me. I saw you on the live, and because right now one of the things that I am also really practicing, I shut down completely my mani chats, my automations, like all of this stuff. It was creating too much noise in my field, so
Right.
I'll be doing it very organic right now for
Uh,
me. That is just what it's feeling into, being a little bit um more human into what it is, into my capacity to be serving this way. That's kind of what I was kind
I
of
love
like
it.
tapping into for now. So just DM me and we can get a little bit into conversation, and then from
Yeah.
there we can go
Love that.
also. Yeah.
Raw,
So
honest conversation. So
yeah.
yes, everyone, if you're feeling the call in on Tame Your Bruja, go talk to Ana Luisa, do the thing. And, same obviously with the vision, come talk to me. Maybe too, I'm like, ooh, maybe people need to join both as well. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
maybe we need to
imagine.
have a conversation. Okay, we're gonna put it this way because we have not talked about that and we have nothing prepared, and you're maybe even like, what the fuck are you gonna say? But if someone is
So
watching and you're like, wait a minute, what is the vision? The vision, by the way, it's a bit of the longer curriculum. It's a 1 year, devotion, but devotion is everything. And then there's also Untame the Bruja, which is like, a big pillar of light happening real quick, fast, powerfully. And if you're like, wait, maybe I want to do both. Maybe I just feel the call for both. Like, who are you both powerful women? Come talk to either Anna or me and be like, I want to do both. And then what we're going to do, if one of you want to do both, then we'll have a conversation together and we'll create a
yes,
special opportunity for people to have both.
imagine that would be a perfect alchemy right there.
I know.
That would be a
I'm
perfect
saying it
alchemy.
out loud. I know we didn't agree on that behind this.
Oh no, don't worry. But
I'm just putting it on us, but I'm like,
no,
this
I
is
love it.
so
And Suze
nice.
is like, yes, I agree. He just came here with me.
Your cat?
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, the
So he
cat is the
agrees.
place for
I
that.
love it. I know he didn't, but
Right?
yes, it flows. I
Yeah.
absolutely believe in this, what you're talking about. Yes.
I know. I'm like, this just feels like the
It makes
truth
sense.
coming out of my heart.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
okay
because
to
I
say
feel like
that? I'm asking you the permission now.
no, 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 no. I love it. I love it. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it would be like a perfect alchemy, right? Because you are like into the vision, into the expansion, into holding that truth, and I'm about like bringing you, like as you were saying, the lower chakras of like, really creating that seed, that groundingness, that in order
Mhm.
to hold your vision, to go and expand, to go and implement everything that you learn in Untame Your Bruja, implement it every day in your vision with Elizabeth. So
Yeah.
it's
Bring
like
your
no
vision
brainer.
to millions.
Yeah. Okay, my love.
Well, I love it. You're incredible. You have
You
the
are
best
incredible
day
too.
ever. I love you so much,
I love you
and I
so
can't
much.
wait to see you again and maybe call upon a part two for the Peru adventure and so
Yes.
much more. This is the Sanctuary, you guys. This is our first episode. Let's freaking go. Home talk, we have said we are all related to all my relation. All of the love.
All of the love. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, baby.
Bye.